Hey, I'm Jen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about one thing that it could be hindering your fat loss goals, especially if you're a woman over 40 or 50 like me. So if you feel like you are doing a lot of the right things, that your body still isn't changing, then it could be from inflammation. Today I'm going to talk about the things that I changed that really helped me to change my body. So this is something that I dealt with years ago when I went down this fat loss journey to firm up over the age of 45. I'm a mom of three. I had my last baby at 45, so I really struggled with being skinny fat pretty much my whole life. When I kind of figured this out, this really helped me to also change my body. If our bodies are inflamed, which a lot of us they are, your body is going to hold on to fat. Not for everybody, but for a lot of people, your body might hold on to more fat. If you feel like you're doing a lot of the right things and you're not getting results, then this video is for you. So here in my med spa, I deal a lot with skin inflammation. Also, as a personal trainer and nutritionist, I deal with a lot of inflammation in the body. And I got certified just going down my own path of trying to figure out my body. So I talk with a lot of my clients here in my med spa and also in my Firm Over 40 program about reducing inflammation. But there's a lot of things that people don't talk about or don't maybe realize. We really need to really look at our stress because it does raise our cortisol levels. And if our cortisol levels are high, it's going to be harder to lose fat. So I really think it's vital as we get older, especially to really get more in tune with our bodies and really listen to our bodies and stop listening to all the data that's out there. There's so much conflicting data that I know it's super overwhelming. So I just want women to get more in touch with what their bodies are needing to feel better. This could be just taking a step back and really listening to your body. And if what you're doing is not working, and this is what I talk a lot in my videos about, if what you're doing is not working, you need to change something. So if you're intermittent fasting and it's not working, you need to stop intermittent fasting. If you're doing a lot of cardio and it's not working, you need to stop doing the cardio. You need to take a step back, especially if you don't love these things. If you don't love intermittent fasting, if you don't love running for an hour, like stop doing it and driving yourself crazy, and it's not giving you results, and it's burning out your body and it's burning you out. Unfortunately, we need more protein as we get older, and I feel like if you're not tracking your protein or have a good idea of how much protein is in certain foods that you're eating, it's going to hold you back. You know, they say 1 gram of protein per ideal pound of body weight, but if you're already doing that and you're not getting results, then maybe you need more protein, or you need to look at the other things that you're eating that could be causing inflammation. And this was a big problem for me because I was quote unquote eating healthy, but I was always having like stomach issues, bloating, holding on to a lot of water. The other thing that a lot of my clients do, I would say 30% of my clients here in my med spa are athletes. So older, women 40, 50, 60, they're athletes, they're triathletes, they're marathon runners. And let me tell you, if you think you became a marathon runner and you're going to like have the body of your dreams, like it doesn't work like that, especially as you get older. These women are holding on to even more body fat than most of my clients that do not work out because they are just going to extremes and their bodies are just constantly inflamed from the chronic overuse of their bodies, and they're completely taxing their bodies and they cannot reduce body fat because they are over exercising. So there's an over exercising problem, there's an under exercising problem, there's an overeating problem, and an under eating problem. I recently challenged myself to eat 1 pound of vegetables a day, and I like vegetables, so this isn't that hard for me. And actually, I'm feeling really, really good, and it hasn't been bothering my stomach. But in the past, this was a huge issue and a mistake that I made. But now my body is very balanced. Okay, so I can handle this amount of vegetables. But in the past, when I thought I was eating clean and eating all the vegetables, oh my God, my stomach was in so much pain. And what I didn't realize was there's something called oxalates. Like everybody talks about reduce your dairy, reduce your gluten. Seed oils is like the new thing, right? But nobody really talks about, there's a book called Toxic Superfoods, and I had no idea about oxalates, and I had no idea about something called the FODMAP diet. So aside from bloating, this can actually, the oxalates can also cause a lot of joint issues and inflammation. So this was happening with a lot of my clients as well when we were looking at a lot of joint pain that they were having. And a lot of women, as we are getting older, we will have joint pain, and they think it's from just getting older, but really it can be from these oxalates, because what happens is the oxalates bind to calcium and then they form these little crystals in your joints, in your kidneys, in your tissues. So this leads to bloating, joint pain, even fatigue, brain fog, or even skin issues. So it can just trigger inflammation. And if you're already kind of inflamed, it can just make the inflammation in your body so much worse. So some high oxalate foods, and why a lot of people when they go on a health kick have an issue is because they eat a lot of spinach. They'll put like a whole bag of spinach like in their smoothies. So spinach is a really high oxalate food. Almonds are a really high oxalate food. Quinoa, even dark chocolate. Go online and Google high oxalate foods, even just oxalate foods, because you might just be triggered by ones that maybe aren't high, but maybe in the middle or even low. And just kind of reduce them and just see how you feel with your joint health, your skin, with your fatigue, just with inflammation, and see if that helps. Okay, another thing is FODMAP, the FODMAP diet. I did this. I had a lot of triggers within this FODMAP. I don't know if you are aware of this, but I was not aware of it. So that's why I want to talk about it today, because these are also healthy foods that cause me severe intestinal issues, like severe. So, FODMAP, these are types of carbohydrates that have sugars and fiber. Some people, like me, cannot fully digest them. They literally ferment in your gut. It produces a lot of gas and then pulls water into your intestines, leading to, it can be severe, like for me, bloating, gas, cramping, diarrhea, constipation, abdominal pain. So, if you have IBS or digestive issues, or you're eating healthy and constantly feeling bloated, I would look into the FODMAP diet and look at specific foods that maybe you're eating that could be triggering you. See how you feel before you eat something and then notice how you feel after. It could take time. I started doing this when I was younger because I used to get hives a lot when I was like in middle school and high school. So I started to become kind of aware of the foods I was eating, but obviously not aware enough to figure out that all these vegetables were causing me distress, but also had a high amount of stress in my life also at the same time. So it was like the stress I was having on top of these foods, I just could not tolerate the two together. Now that I have got my stress under control through like lifestyle changes, then I can eat these foods in moderation. Some I cannot, some are still triggering, but now I know because I know how I feel. So the good thing is you don't probably have to avoid these foods forever, but if you are stressed, if you're perimenopause, postmenopause, and your estrogen drops, then a lot of times your gut lining is disturbed. And they're doing a lot of studies on this now to see, but our gut is definitely different when we are starting menopause and postmenopause. So then we cannot even maybe, eat the same foods that we used to eat. Our bodies just don't break them down the same. And that could be another issue that I just wanted to have you think about, because I feel like a lot of people are not talking about this. And you could be like just racking your brain as to why you are not getting results and you feel like you're doing everything right. But it could be just as simple as these things just don't react with your body the same as they used to. So just really start to be in tune with your body and do what you feel like is right for you, and really notice how you feel after you eat certain foods, and really try and stick with whole foods as much as you can. I know people talk about it and it's like, okay, I know I have to eat more whole foods and less packaged foods, like blah, blah. But if you are like leaning in towards a lot of processed foods, it could just be holding you back because of all the additives that are in the processed foods. When I stopped eating like all the bars and all like the quote unquote like low fat, healthy, what they say are healthy snacks, like baked cheese puffs and baked this, like it's still a packaged food at the end of the day. And I had to stop thinking about like the calories on the labels. And, for me, it was always like when I was growing up, like the calories I was eating and making sure I was eating not a lot of calories so I could be skinny. And as I get older, I don't want to just be skinny. I don't want to be skinny fat. I want to have like a toned, healthy, strong body. And I had to really think about and look at what I was eating. Stress also can slow down digestion, which I didn't realize. So, stress just plays so many roles in our body and how we just even process food. So vital as we get older to really figure out how to get the stress under control and take time for ourselves, stop beating ourselves up, do things every day to make yourself proud of yourself. So I do think that, even if your hormones are all over the place, you can completely change your body, but you just need to really find out these triggers that are causing like the inflammation and slowly just take them out. And you may not just realize that it could be the healthy foods that you're eating. So if you follow me on like Instagram or social media, you'll see that I'm a big fan of mood boosters, because aside from our diet and inflammation there, we have our nervous system and the stress that we're just getting on a daily basis. And I have a teenage daughter and a teenage son and a now 6-year-old son. And it's a lot of stress, right? And I'm married. So husbands cause you stress, right? Your partners cause you stress. And I can be like moody because now like my hormones are all over the place. Like my daughter's hormones are all over the place. So I found I was listening to Dr. Stacy Sims talk about adaptogens. And in the past, tried like different things. When I was younger, I used to take St. John's wort, but now, if you're older and you are on different antidepressants or any type of medication, St. John's wort is one of the trickier things to take. But I used to love St. John's wort. So as we are going through menopause, like we are having more depression, anxiety. There's like a rise in depression in women as they're getting older. So they're being put on more medications. I know that exercise has helped me with anxiety and depression, and then these mood things that I take. So things that you can look into. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, but I rotate them because, like anything, I like to rotate my skincare. I like to rotate the topicals that I use for skin firming and for my cellulite. I will rotate things so that my body doesn't get used to them. But my top ones are like L-theanine and caffeine mixed together. Take that like with my coffee in the morning. And then I really like ashwagandha a lot as well. Rhodiola, I really love. I also like, there's a new one I just got. Now, I'm not sponsored by like any of these products, but I'm just letting you know. I recently got Mood Bites. They taste horrible, so I definitely would not recommend them, but they have saffron. That was the other thing. Saffron really, really helps with my mood. Increase our dopamine levels, increase our serotonin, just things to make us feel better and uplift our mood naturally. It just has helped me, I feel like, in helping with my stress and helping me to honestly change my body, because the less stressed I am, then my body is more apt to let go of that. And also omegas as we get older. So omegas can really help in reducing inflammation in the body. There's a couple doctors that really talk about higher levels, taking actually omegas through the day. There's all different research on omegas, so research it and see. In other videos, we talk about ways to reduce your stress. So whether that's like getting more movement, getting sunlight, grounding, putting your feet like on the grass, things like that to really help to make you feel better. And for everybody, it's going to be different. I literally hate walking on the grass with no shoes, but I do the sound of the ocean, and I like being in nature and walking in the woods. Like I like that. That helps me relax. Being really listening to what works for you and just doing it, taking the time for yourself, because as you do this, you're going to build your confidence, feel better, be able to then start to change your body if you're really struggling. And the other thing that has been life changing for me, I'm doing a whole video series on the products that I got for free that I would repurchase or am repurchasing because they have really helped me. And I get a lot of products given to me in skincare, in supplements, in hair care, in different devices. So I'm breaking those down into a series to let you know, for women over 40 or 50 or even older, things that I've gotten for free, but I literally buy because they have made such a big difference. But I would say in the supplement zone, that GSH powder that I talk about all the time that I use to help with my cellulite, to help with my skin firming topically, and the UNV water booster, because I'm horrible at drinking water. So it makes my water equivalent to, I think it's like 10 cups of water by boosting my 1 cup of water. So those things have made a huge difference, helping me get leaner and helping my gut to be more balanced and helping my immunity and my inflammation. But this has helped me to really keep my body more balanced because it's a glutathione precursor. There's a lot coming out on glutathione now, and not just taking glutathione as a pill, because it doesn't work as well as taking this powder. But I would say that has moved the needle for me the most in my immunity and my inflammation and my gut health. So I'll do a whole other video on how to reduce inflammation, like in your face, in your body, things that I do topically. But I just wanted to today cover things that you may not realize are causing inflammation in your body because you think you're doing all the right things by working out and eating healthy, but still not changing your body. So check out the guide below that I have, which will be key things to help you in reducing inflammation in your body over the age of 40. Just key things that have really helped me. I kind of just put it all into one guide to help you to reduce inflammation and lose body fat as you age. So I hope you like this, and comment down below any other things you're struggling with, and I will see you in the next one.